I don't think it's a coincidence that so many people are depressed, anxious. I am not anti-social media. Too much of a good thing can become a bad thing. Welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time seeing my face, welcome to Life Today with Binta. About a week ago, I posted this video that briefly talked about why I don't post on social media. So many of you commented and were showing your support and resonated with things that I was talking about, so I really wanted to do another video on this topic, why I don't really post, but also the benefits of either getting rid of social media or limiting your use with social media. So first, why don't we talk about what exactly social media detoxing is? I think a lot of people call it different things. When I first started doing this in 2017, I was calling it like a social media hiatus. I'd be like, well,
I'll talk to you in a few weeks.
Or a month, however long I needed. And if you look at the definition of detox, oh yes. Let's go. Actually, this glare, we're not here for her, but it was a nice thought. If you look at the definition of detox, which I'll put on the screen, a process or period of time in which one abstains from or rids the body of toxic or unhealthy substances. Detoxification. In real people words, that just means getting a break from something that is probably not the healthiest thing for you. It clearly affects us young adults and just human beings in general. I am not anti-social media. I think that there's a lot of great benefits that come along with it. People are getting paid from social media. I have this YouTube channel. We're not getting paid yet, but you know, one day. It's a really great thing. It's a great way of connecting with people. But when your entire presence is being oversaturated by the online life, it's time to take a step back. The first benefit of either getting rid of social media or limiting your use on social media is more time for yourself, for the things that you enjoy, for your loved one. When you are not scrolling on social media, that is minutes, hours you are getting back to do other things. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, and if you feel like you're not able to get the things done that you want to get done, there's not enough time in the day, taking a step back from social media, not even cutting it completely out, but just limiting that alone gives you so much of that time back. When I first started doing this in 2017, my purpose during that time was like fasting and growing spiritually. So I was like, okay, this is one thing that takes up so much time. If I can just get rid of it even for a week, I'll be able to get other things done. And sure enough, I was. You want to read that book? You got some passion projects that you're trying to work on? Reevaluate where your hours are going, because we've all been there. You are scrolling on the tick of the talk, and the tick-tock of the clock is also going by. That just came to me. Whether you are on Facebook catching up on life events or you're scrolling on IG, the hours add up while you're scrolling. If you can resonate with wanting to tap into that artistic side, wanting to be more creative, are you consuming more than you create? All I'm saying is that you will definitely find that you have more time to do things. Your time is so precious, and you want to make sure that you're being as intentional as possible. Excuse my lisp, I had my Invisalign in, and you would think I'd be used to wearing it by now, but it's still hard. Anyways, number 2, you will find that the more time you spend away from social media, the more confident you will become for yourself, by yourself, with yourself. It's actually, like, this is probably my favorite benefit. You are no longer scrolling, subconsciously comparing yourself to other people. You're no longer thinking, oh, this person lives such an amazing life, they're always doing something, because you will be doing something. You no longer have that comparison going on. Even if you don't think that you're comparing yourself to other people when you're on social media, subconsciously, our brains be doing stuff.
You smart.
You can't help it but you're like, damn, I want to be in Cabo, I want to be in Aruba, I want to be in the Bahamas. You're perfect. I hate you. It's not healthy. It's not. Spending time away from social media means you are now looking inwards. You're now being introspective. You're only tuning into yourself, the people and immediate matters in your life and your goals. Emphasis on your goals, because if you're on social media, you will constantly be seeing what everyone's talking about doing, and it's going to bog you down. I mean, I'm just speaking for myself. If you can relate, that's cool too. You really start to understand that this life is really just you versus you. It's not you versus anyone else. You are your only competition. You should work towards being a better version of your so corny. You should work towards being a better version of yourself with every opportunity that you have. And you get to fully dial into who you are, who you want to be, and what you want to do with your life. Number 3, stillness. Stillness. This is for my fellow people with anxiety. It's hard out here. Social media is always moving. If you hit that refresh button because you think you saw all the posts, guess what? There's still more to come. There is not enough scrolling that you could do to catch up on everyone's lives. You will never be fully satisfied. Yet, every single time we hit that refresh, we're saying,
ooh, I just want one more.
Maybe 5 more.
I'ma just go for 10 more minutes.
Until you realize that 2 to 3 hours have passed and you've done nothing. This is not a shaming video. That's what I want to say first. I think it's so easy to get caught up in social media, and we have all been there. That's why the only time it's easy to actually detach is when you're like, oh my gosh, 3 hours have passed and I haven't done a damn thing. Before that, you're just scrolling. You're like, oh, this is fun. Ooh, monkeys. Ooh, cute dogs. Like, there's so much to look at. Being able to step back and just satisfy your craving for new information by doing things that you want to do. Reading is something that I feel like I never have time for between YouTube, my full-time job, hanging out with friends, my boyfriend, like, yeah. But like I said, we all have the same 24 hours a day, so being able to take that step back allows you to reevaluate, allows you to plan better, allows you to optimize your time in the best way possible. I don't think there's anything that hurts my soul more than when I look back on old concert videos, like just as live performances before social media, before smartphones. You will see no smartphones in the air, no flashlights in the air, because everyone is just tuned in to whoever is performing. There is nothing that's more pure than that. I love being able to just have my phone down and just tap into the moment, people. Oh, and we can still have that. It's so hard to break up with the phone. And I'm not saying you gotta do this full time. I'm just saying that the benefits of taking a step back just keep flowing through. Number 4, going along with stillness, the internal peace. I am not here to tell you that doing a social media detox or getting rid of it is
so easy, you won't even think about it.
You're gonna be thinking about it. The FOMO is real. I definitely struggle with FOMO. I've also grown to become more introverted, I'm realizing, maybe as I get older, but I am such a homebody, and seeing other people do things, going on vacations, the FOMO is there. But the longer that you're away from social media, the less you start to miss it. Like, being able to be comfortable with this silence, because that's what it's going to feel like. You're gonna realize that, like, your brain is probably gonna be more calm. I mean, in the beginning, you gonna feel a little crazy, I'm not gonna lie to you. But being able to find comfort in that silence and committing yourself to this detox for however long you choose for yourself, that is what's gonna get you through. Number 5, you will be saving money. Hear me out. The amount of ads that are perfectly curated to fit your personality, what you like, what you've been eyeing, what you've been thinking about before you even Googled it, that is all there for you to spend money. Sometimes you don't even know that discounts are happening or sales are happening until you're scrolling. Fashion Nova, I'm looking at you, always hitting people with the 50% offs, 40% offs, like,
Let a girl have a break.
I also work in marketing, so I have a good idea of how these things happen, how ads are placed behind the scenes, how they are geared and tailored for specific people like me and you. Don't let them take your money. Last but not least, you will realize how little social media matters in comparison to your real life. Too often these days, a majority of people choose to live their best lives on social media for social media. They have to take these pictures to prove that their lives are so interesting. And hear me out, this is no shade, this is not me being bitter. I follow so many beautiful people who are like IG models, getting their bags, like this is different. I'm talking about the people that don't be living a certain way in real life, but they want to flex for the gram. They feel like they have to prove themselves to be this type of person or to maintain this type of image when that doesn't even matter. If you are not the sweet person that you claim to be on social media in real life, you a catfish. Don't be catfishing your personality. If you're in need of validation, you will easily get that from social media, but is it the best place to be looking for the validation? I just don't think that social media was created to be your sole source of all of your happy chemicals, the serotonin, the oxytocin, or whatever it's called. But too often we're relying on social media to get us that. And I really just want us to flourish. As cheesy as that sounds, I'm a cheesy person, I can't help it, okay? Faking this image for something that is so fake and artificial. You're not present. You want to show off all the flexible items, like flexible, not like flexible, and it's really just pointless. Like, social media is not real life. It's so easy to feel that way because we get so immersed in the trends, in the dances, in the fun pictures, in the videos, in the reels, but you have to just be aware that you have a whole present life that you need to tend to, you need to take care of. I don't think that humans were meant to consume this much information at such a high rate. Think about it when there's just so many news updates happening at one time. There is no way that that's healthy for us. I remember when I first started implementing like social media breaks just regularly in my routine, I was just about to start my senior year of college. And when I returned to school and everyone's like, oh, what have you been up to? I remember bringing this up, like, oh, I took a break from social media. And someone literally asked me,
Why?
like, it was like,
Okay, that's cool, but like, why?
like there was no one felt the need to do it then. Or I shouldn't say that, like I wasn't the first person to discover this, but I know that when I brought it up, a lot of people were just like, why would you do that? Like, it's not that deep. And I'm here to tell you, y'all, it's deep. If you think that social media is not that deep, you might be in too deep. The frequent noise in the background is enough for me to just crave peace and stillness and me time. Doing your social media detox, break, hiatus, whatever you want to call it, allows you to focus on what's really important. You're going to be able to notice when certain things are starting to drain you, and also being able to have that self-awareness of realizing like, I haven't gone X amount of days without posting a picture. You are able to realize the areas where you might be feeding for attention, for validation, and you will learn how to cut the cord. Like I said in the beginning, social media is a great thing. It can be a great thing, but too much of a great thing becomes a bad thing. I also really want to emphasize that it's okay if you are currently glued to your screen. Like, I think we all start there, and then eventually you begin to realize the different ways that it starts affecting you, and that's when you're able to make the change. I never want anyone to see any of my videos and think like, oh my gosh, she's got all the answers, she thinks she all that. Like, no, I literally started addicted to social media. I like being in control. As soon as I realized that something else was controlling me, I was like, gotta go. Being able to implement this successfully, I think you have to ask yourself a few questions and be really honest with yourself. Can I let myself do something fun without posting on social media? One thing I love doing is just taking pictures for the essence, because you might still be used to taking pictures, and I think there is nothing wrong with that. Collect your memories, but don't make it your memory, if that makes sense. In the example of going to a concert, don't let your one memory be, I just watched my favorite artist perform through my phone screen. You zoomed in, and instead of actually looking, you're looking here, which, you know what, sometimes the phone could be cool and useful because you get to zoom in, especially if you got a faraway seat. Zoom, baby, zoom. If that's how you see it, do it. Just try not to be so carried away by capturing that perfect moment that you aren't even absorbing. Ask yourself, why why you feel the need to share or the obligation to share in the first place. What do you want people to think? Not every single person deserves a front row seat in your life. Remember that. Yes, I have a YouTube channel, but I do keep a lot of things private, and everybody has a right to. Like, the fact that privacy and data is being shared this way and that way is scary. This actually reminds me of this episode in Black Mirror. Have you guys watched Black Mirror? That is one of my favorite, like, futuristic, sci-fi-esque shows that I'm obsessed with. There's this one episode, I'm gonna put it down below, a world where social media is taken to such literal extremes. It's such a good episode. Every single episode is different. It's like its own little mini movie, so definitely check it out. And then there's a really good documentary that's also on Netflix, and it's called The Social Dilemma. Like I said, it is documentary style, so make sure you're like in the mood for that, because I'm not always in a documentary mood, but when I am, it's a good time. I love that more and more people are starting to talk about this, and I think it's gonna pay off in so many ways. I don't think it's a coincidence that whether in real life or on social media, so many people are depressed, anxious, battling their own inner demons, and we all will always have some type of demon. Like, no one's life is perfect, but social media has not been helping that. Comment down below, if you had more time, what would you be doing with it? Don't forget to subscribe. We are on the road to 1K, and I am so grateful that you are joining me. Anyways, thank you again for watching this video, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye, guys.